No time to waste, no time to spare. We're getting back into it. fnatic got it in overtime. It was close. They had map point in regulation, but they were holding on. They were struggling to eke out those final few rounds. NRG closed in the gap, broke down the economy, nearly got it without twists 1-on-2.
Yeah, if we didn't win that. Actually, I could say that about...
Well, any clutch. When it goes to overtime, you could say that's about any clutch, right? But that one in particular was incredible.
Yeah, big one there to win. And now we are going to be heading into the map choice of NRG. If they're deflated after that loss, considering how much they put into it, that could really hamper them, because fnatic are going to be on a high, getting the win in the end, whereas NRG are going to be feeling a little bit sore. If they can reconcile that and say, hey, look, it wasn't our map choice. It was another close game. We're definitely in it. The individuals are warmed up now.
Yep.
We're back in it. We're back in the thick of it, and we could even go a third here. So the third map, I did write it down.
Just two.
Yes, you're right. It's the same third map as the previous series. They just didn't get that far.
Well, we'll see if they do now. The fact that went to overtime and still was that close is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, that was a slugfest at the end.
It was one of those wild games of Counter-Strike, right? So if we get even half of that on Overpass, then fantastic. The viewers are going to be well and truly entertained. You can see here on the screen there's the Chinese analyst desk at the top there. QZ on the far right. Yeah, with the white shirt. He used to be a player for Tyloo. He's actually the brother of DD. So a bit of fun fact for all of you out there. DD was speaking to some local Chinese fans here yesterday, just asking about, Captain Mo, DD, what are they up to? DD hasn't touched Counter-Strike since, apparently. He's just taking a bit of time off, whereas Captain Mo, he's been doing some streaming. Now, you've obviously got other legends here who commentate from the Chinese counterparts. You've got Sakula and Alex. If you don't know about them, go back and look at some Chinese 1.6 history, some legends of the game there. And you still got the likes of Savage and TB. They're playing at the moment in, I believe, Panda. So the history and the lineage of Chinese Counter-Strike, it's one to remember.
Well, this game is one to remember so far. fnatic now go into enemy territory. NRG chose this map. Overpass. We will knife for sides. And we will decide who starts where based on who wins this.
Yeah, so this was the map where Breezy had like 52 kills or something. Sure, they actually went into multiple overtimes when he was able to do that, but I think Peter from HLTV had a stat I'm going to look for. I think I remember reading it out. I was astonished by it. It was like 39 and 8 in round 1. Like, that was his contribution. Let me have a look. I want to make sure I get this one right. Knife round's going to conclude. Should be getting this one underway momentarily. So where is it here? Trickling down the feeds. Still going. Here we go. Breezy in the 25-round wins in Triple OT, so the 25 rounds that were put on the board by the side of Old Boys NRG. He had 39 kills and 8 deaths with 132 ADR and 14 multi-kills.
Yeah, okay, that'll do it.
The wording of that tweet in the beginning, it kind of, you and I like, wait, what? And then when we went back and we actually dissected it and looked at it, that's an astonishing stat line right there. We're underway nice and quick. NRG will be on the CT side this time round. fnatic on the T side. Utility for Exist and Twist. Smokes, Molotov, 2 flashbangs. CTs have daps. There's the utility bitch with the flash and hit. They'll find the opening kill over towards B. Breezy trying to pick off of one of those flashbangs. And they're going to be continuing through, coming up the connector here. Now, over on A, there's only one player to receive, and that will be circled towards long. There's nobody in the side, so if they just continue to walk, they don't actually need to speed this one up. They don't need to use their utility, but they don't know that.
Brolan works back in with the Glock. Cirque, he's up long. Turning around to try and deny the plant. They would have expected that was clear. Why would a CT be out there? Well, he's there and he's in the right position at the right time. Twist will get the response. Glock at range is impressive, but it's almost too late. There's still a minute to play. But with the bomb not yet planted, they're giving the CTs a ton of space. Unfortunately, it's just daps. They won't even hold it. They'll try and play this to time. Play this to kills. Daps gets one back in doing that, though. They have to be careful. Lloyd Keeper Crims, but he's got the headshot instead. Daps falls 1-0 for fnatic.
That was an interesting round. Every time it seemed like NRG had found a way in, there was always someone behind, right? They tried to pick Monster early for information off one of Dap's flashbangs. fnatic came out on top of them, that's for sure. The force buy response will come straight in here. Definitely notable the scout that's been picked up by Cirque. Now, we talk about on Dust 2, if you pick up 2 scouts on the CT side, you can be very dangerous. 3 pistols left over to do a lot of damage. And, well, it's just one on Cirque here. So if he can seek and use it like he would in AWP, he doesn't actually need to find the kills, just needs to soften players up. One, ooh, the dink. Crims, he's going to survive on 14 points of health. He's going to get put in an early grave right now, and 4 on 5 early in the favor of fnatic here. They'll be taking their time to make sure they clear all the corners in that connected position. Breezy will continue forward, so one after the other, they send the stars of NRG in to see what damage they can possibly do. And we can see on the mini-map that the direction is back and forth as fnatic are taking the bomb now back towards the B bomb site, where Breezy still is. We can see where he was towards Sandbag. Daps is there as well. Cirque posted up with the scout. He's not going to be gifted anything at all. And then Tarek, well, he's floating it right now over towards the truck position, the bank position, sorry, where he's just spotting long. It's going to be a B pounce. I think it's going to be quite quick when the squeaky door opens.
14 HP for Crims. Could come back to haunt him. Scout shots from Cirque can make that haunting for everybody, Breezy. Just as he thought his vision was lost. He's dead-eyed Dick with the deagle as he takes the head clean off of Twist. 4 on 4 as a result. Staps though, smoke. Bomb gets dropped. This gets awkward for fnatic.
20 seconds.
20, exactly, 25-ish, but 20 before the plant has to happen. As Brolin does at least get one back, there goes some space. Taps is going to fade off because the smoke's dissolving. And Tarek now with the deagle is keeping them at bay, keeping them at range. And it'll slowly fall apart, surely. It has to. Ramp cover, they can't swing, but Taps still gets picked up from that range. JW at least shows up, and look at the HP. He went down to 8.
If he took JW there, the 1v1 with Exist becomes more than possible, and maybe he gets revenge for that round on the B bomb site. Right there on Cache, not too far from our memory. But we will see an eco now come out from NRG. They will take the save. Flashbang in the hands of Dapperoonie. So we're on the... Whoa, okay, what?
That range.
Excuse me?
Head armor.
Cirque?
No
cool?
shot in return.
You cool, bro?
Yeah, we cool.
That's a pretty nice shot to hit. As Crims has crept his way in through Monster, there's actually 2 players on the bomb site, so he's going to be signaling to his team that it's clear. Flash will come out, and, well, that's the one piece of utility they had used. He spotted 2 players now, one in the pit, one towards heaven, and JW to push in. He gets 2. Gets the 3rd with the UMP as well. JW alleviates any pressure applied. Tarek tries to get in for a nice little flank. And now it is just Daps, the last man standing. You heard the little click just there in the server. That is the teams typing to one another, and I can't see it right now, but I'm pretty certain that's Exist saying,
Nice
shot.
shot. Yeah, that usually is what it is after something like that. Daps is just kind of hanging out by himself, contemplating a nice walk at the park, relive his childhood memories on the swings. Whee! Fell off the swing once, broke his arm, so he doesn't want to stick around for too long. Imagine just making up backstories.
A whole
for everyone.
narrative. Daps was once left alone by his parents in a park overnight where he had to learn to forage and lived under the slide.
That was sick. I just saw it on the screen. I don't know if it was on ours. And it was a spectacular 2-tap.
All right, gun round. Here we go. Cirque with the AWP. 2 Augs. 2 M4s, 1 defuse kit in play, keep that in mind. JW holding onto the UMP, they did some fantastic work with last round. Comes just through the sandbag Molotov over towards short, so that is going to be a constant feature in this map. Now, the way it looks like they're set up, it's going to be a relatively quick B approach, or at least into the sewer. The door's been blown on open. Brolin has JW and Exist in tow. Twist is watching off towards oh, okay. Bit of a dink, exchange of damage. fnatic feeling a little bit worse for wear after that.
Yeah, Brolin's got to be careful. Even if he wants to try and peek this, he should be the booster instead. Well,
they're all low.
So yeah, you just pointed it out. Exist on 3. It's a spammable position at the wooden wall, and he's got to be so careful not to position himself as to be predictable. Breezy there. Good flash. Crims goes down. Exist has fallen as well. It didn't take much. In fact, it was through the wall. So that 3 HP costed him dearly. Tarek now waits An attempt. Cuts off JW.
Good positioning from Tarek here to be able to finish off what Ethan started. And now Twist will get one back. So every kill that he can get is a bit of damage. The magic number is 3. If he can find 2 more within the 35 seconds, he's going to make it damn near impossible for NRG to drop enough guns around, especially if he takes away the AWP and makes sure that they can't rescue that one. Cirque can finish this right here, right now. Spots him up, will do so. AWP through the chest. And that's the first round on the board for NRG on their CT side. So there's a couple of things to look at here. At least we were talking a little bit before about the introduction of Tarek into this roster. When you look at the rosters where Tarek's found the most success, you think about the E-League team Optic, who went on to win, I think it was Season 2 of E-League, or I'm not 100% certain. And then you think about the Cloud9 team. They were teams with lots of playmakers. Well, NRG somewhat mirrors that, right? You do have a lot of playmakers in this squad. He kind of just fits in yet again. Whether or not they can use the same tempo and pace as what his previous rosters did, that's a question that is still demanding. But we saw a lot of impact of him in the first map. Things are going to go back to a bit of normality right now. A very passive approach from fnatic over towards the Fountain area. They actually haven't taken any territory towards that side of the map. Twist is just watching a very tight line for any aggression. JW clearing out Connector. You can see Exist here spamming through Monster. Broland and Twist are very close to each other. You can see on the radar they're so far back. It's only just now that they're clearing it out, so maybe expecting an aggressive play from the A defenders. But now the hold is quite scary. Before, if you said, oh yeah, you know, you had Fugly over to A with Cirque, well now you've got Tarek and Cirque over towards A. Ethan and Breezy over to B, and then Daps and Swing. Okay, now we start talking.
Broland will back off, no commitment yet. Bomb over toward Monster and getting closer to the B side of the map, but this positioning with Breezy at the grate, Ethan can play off of this, and they're not even stopping at that inside of the B site because they've also got Daps on the M4. Another smoke to Monster, 38 seconds. Ethan doesn't need to overcommit to that position because he has to consider short as well, and there are 2 players there ready to strike. Flashes, they've got plenty.
Tarek's going to be on the flank here through Connector, so the timing on this could be absolutely perfect.
The timing's perfect for the CTs. They've got to hurry it up on the T side. Tarek's behind already. Tarek's got one that's going to slow them down. They try to attack Monster to compensate for it, but Breezy on the off angle gets Broland down. Twist up. Ethan does fall to Exist. Tap's able to trade it though, and this setup was far too strong. Yeah, couldn't even get near the site to plants. 5 seconds. Done. Nade gone. At least gets Tarek down. Fnatic give up the first round. Importantly, they get more than 3, so they hit that threshold of sort of breaking into the economy.
The way that that nade just scuttled in, there's no dodging that. It's already bounced a few times before it lands and blows Tarek. Tarek? Tarek. Tarek. No Shirt TV. What a weird brand.
Yeah, that was a weird brand. I think he actually used to stream that way, and then Twitch changed the rules.
Yeah, they made sure people had to.
And then Amazon bought them, and they changed the rules again. More to the standards of political correctness.
2009.
I don't mind streaming with it, but like, we have a rule in my house: you're not allowed to eat at the dinner table without a shirt on.
That's a fair rule.
Yeah, and no hats at the table.
That one I
those
can
are the
see.
2.
I don't know how Taco will go with that one in his household.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, it's another B approach right now from Fnatic, this time with that saved AWP in the hands of Twist. They obviously have an AK that they've carried over as well, but they just want to go B again. Very stubborn in this approach. There was the sandbag boost that we did just see come on in, but that's been moved. It's going to be a quick pounce play onto the side.
It's a good swing from Breezy lineup as well. That's perfect for him as they just weren't sure where to stand and weren't sure of his location. Gives them up, and Ethan's added to that. So forget reset potential. That might go against Fnatic rather than in their favor. Twist gets in a position to look toward heaven, but ooh, spotted the boost. Just wide of Tarek. Hit that shot, you might have a different story.
There's no armor here on him. This is just a matter of time, and he'll get taken down again. Tarek with 2 in the round. 3-3 now, moving into round number 7. Fnatic will have to concede. They will have to take an eco, but it could just be one of those pistol upgrades because they will be getting the 2,900 in the following. Not the max loss bonus of the 3,400 just yet. One more to concede before they can think about that. Deagle for Crims. A couple of grenades for Brolin to exist. Let's see if they've identified a tendency that they want to take advantage of, or maybe just throwing it towards the balloon position. Yes, that's where it's going to be, because we know that Cirque and Co like to pick with the ADP. Big nades chunking down Tarek and Cirque. Okay.
But look at the push. Tarek goes straight through the smoke. Cirque now has the back lines. Those two players are controlling the situation, and we didn't even mention the third. Dap slides up long, so even if they got by the op, what a slaughter.
Yeah, good job there to stay alive, considering that early nade damage.
We're seeing now why they picked this map, right? They've got a plan. They know how to play aggressively on the CT, but also not just play aggressively. A lot of people can play aggressively. Sure, you can run out and fire your gun, but they're doing it in a way that there's a backup, there's a fail-safe. It's always off of each other.
And that is always important here. The guns will come out, but there's no AWP. Brolin has the only scoped weapon on the side of fnatic, and it will come in the form of the Krieg this time round. Cirque, we're on board with him. He wants to go aggressively towards the connected position. Could open things up. JW has been able to sneak across that right-hand side. It's actually going to allow Ethan to push on in. So if they know the tendency of the default here. Oh, Ethan's turned his back. The door opening might allow JW to pick it. Will. Cirque won't land the shot. He's going to have to get on out of town. Has enough time to back off because they're not close enough to Fountain just yet to punish him for this. So lucky to be alive, all things considered.
$19 HP for Cirque.
What's wild here, Matt, is it's just direct approaches right now from Fnatic. All 5 of them combing up the map as they clear out bathrooms, the midsection. 3 towards long, and Cirque will get punished. Low HP, hanging around a little bit too long. JW almost gets the second. Strange smoke to use for Fnatic there, considering they had the opening onto the side, and they took down the AWP player. So Tarek is now stuck behind that. The cavalry is slowly making their way over. He's going to call this.
Man, that is a in, but not with the smoke. There's still slightly gray screen. Flash never came through, and it's time for Daps to step out. Turning it around from a 3-0 start. They converted off the pistol. They held their nerve to keep that to 3 instead of just 2. But now we're seeing a much different tale as NRG has guns. JW has an op.
He's going for it.
Bombs in front of him. You're right, he is. 22 seconds. He knows they'll both be in there somewhere, so where's the first? Behind the fence, won't be able to get the shot. In fact, he could sneak from the dumpster. I worry for JW because he's open from that position, but won't be able to see it. He's gone far enough into the bank. Spotted one. Oh, I thought he was going to go for the wall. He did. He couldn't hit it. That man had a rough night, sleeping it off in the bathrooms.
Never a place you want to find yourself waking up. As long as you're still wearing your pants, I'm sure it was probably a safe evening.
Depends on the state of your pants.
Context is key, I suppose. All right, now the max loss bonus comes in because we started with 3 rounds on the board for Fnatic after NRG's failed force buy. They took the full save. Cirque had that amazing double tap with the USP that didn't actually bear any fruit, and now NRG have bounced back with 5 on the trot since they've been able to get their guns up. So Fnatic are going for rounds to keep the economy tight if they can. JW with the hero AK. But time to kick things off again, so roaming around, finding impact. Doing good stuff here. Caught almost out of position, still grabs one. Circle make up for it, and now it is a 2-on-4 situation.
Flash over the smoke, twist to push through it perhaps. Cirque sees through the bathroom door. That means he actually had vision behind the smoke, because it was forward of that, and therefore you get that result. Daps, he's hanging out inside of the site. Twist is certainly working in that direction with an AK-47. Cirque is there as well, but this is all NRG as they look to find their 6th. Fnatic, if they can get up to 6-7 rounds, we're on for something, but lots of time. They don't have to panic yet. We're only on round 9. But I'm not really seeing much that's encouraging so far in these last few rounds.
The thing that I've liked, at least from this approach, is it's been direct and together. When you think back to Cage, their approach was very spread out and individual, right? So they were trying to find room and then work off of that room. Overpass is a map where it's much more difficult to do that. You need to do the default spread sure to mitigate any aggression. But from there, it becomes more complicated. The executes, the timings, the fakes, they all play a massive factor. And look at, they played Nuke, I think, that NRG went for the punish when these two teams played on it earlier in the event. This time around, they've adjusted that. So in the last 3 months, NRG have played Overpass 6 times. They've won it 5. They've lost it once, and that once was to Avantgarde at the major 16-13. They win the lion's share of their rounds through the CT side at 57%. Breezy's going to kick things off yet again on a gun round with a big opening kill onto Crims. You can actually take a look as well on this Fnatic team, who have played the map 8 times in the last 3 months. They've only won it twice, 6 losses. Their win percentage at 25%. Their pissed around percentage 31%. That's 5 out of 16 total. They've lost to NIP. They've lost to Movie Star Riders. They've lost to Windigo. They've lost to G2. They've lost to Vici. They've lost to Cloud9. They've only beaten Greyhound and Optic on this map, and both those games were double digits.
Twist getting circuit range. That is decent because now they're 4-4. They've been having trouble finding equalizers, and JW takes advantage of the space it creates to take down Tarek. Smoke to the top of the back stairs, not bank. The dumpster. Additional smoke? Interesting. Didn't need to double that up as of yet. JW will wait on the back of it either way. That gives Ethan, oh, never mind. I'm going to say a chance to swing out potentially from bank and spot him, but the second smoke is great.
The smoke's not a wall by any means, but imagine running through that into 4 angry Ts on the other side. Fnatic have blocked this off just with utility alone, and NRG are going to make the safe call to go for the save. When we look at their economy situation right now, Cirque has 10k, Tarek has 3.7 in the bank before the loss bonus comes on in, Ethan with 8, Breezy with 6.6, 5.9 for Daps. This is the long con. This is not playing for this round, this is playing for the future. Thinking about their children and their children's children. The environment, recycle.
Yeah. Sad. You make me sad when you think that far ahead, Chad. I don't like to. I just want to play video games all day.
I wonder.
You know what would be?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, my thoughts.
We were both
not
hypothesizing. Not my. I don't know yet. Mine's not great either.
I was going to say, I wonder what the joy of having a child would be like.
Oh. Wow. I guess if you live long enough, you'll find out. That's what I'm told is like it's inevitable. If you want to have kids, you eventually will.
Sure.
I was going to say, I wonder if there's a way to save the world and disguise it as a video game. So I could just play video games, but also like do something like saving global warming.
Isn't that
some
Ender's
sort
Game?
Of like, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Like I wasn't familiar with that. You've just spoiled the entire plot for me.
Oh. Well, come on. The movie's been out for a while, and it was a book before.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, creeping into B3 Monster is the guys from Fnatic. They just want to go for a bit of a dry pick here, and they're going to get an avenue to the bomb site because NRG actually went for a very aggressive A lane with 4 players. It's going to be a retake situation, and that means they have to have smokes, flashes, grenades, and Molotovs ready for this. So it's going to be a CT execute back onto the bomb site. They can close off choke points with nades. They have so many to work with here, so the pressure is not applied that badly, but they need to have a good game plan for this retake. This has to be spoken through.
Or forgotten and abandoned altogether. I don't think that's going to be the case. Utility raining in, and they are posturing outside of the balcony. Ethan gets twist. Roland still sits down in the pit. 1 kill to the CTs is fine because time is the enemy and the bomb is ultimately the 5th man. They have the advantage. They'll get it back. Roland finding 1. Forces them out. They now know they're on top of the catwalk. Molotov on top of the bomb. Spice and time and exists with only 1, but JW able to trade off his death. And Crims goes down to the bomb. JW almost does, but gets away, and, well, actually goes back and gets the AWP.
So here's something to note right now. With those maps that I was reading up before, that 8 played in the last 3 months for Fnatic and Overpass, I said they only won 2, lost 6. But this is a very low stat line. They're called the game changer stats. Basically, this is looking at how Fnatic fare after either getting the opening kill or receiving the opening death. Now, they only have a 17% win rate after receiving the opening death. Maybe that is why they're playing so passive towards certain areas of the map in the early stages, so they can't get picked on and off, because if they don't have good cohesion when they're down a man, sitting back and allowing NRG to dispel their utility and then have to drop back in waves like you see on the transitional defense from the CT side here means that they can take territory, not for free, but a little bit safer. So that could be one solution that they've looked for. And just to compare that to the choice here of NRG, they have a 35.3% after losing that opening death, or receiving that opening death, mind you.
Nade goes through the smoke. That's actually well placed to soften up. Crims, a quarter of his health lost. 25 cents off the dollar. Taps. Hold it out to the main entrance, down to 7 HP. JW finding that kill through the smoke. Tarek annoyingly gets tagged through the wall, but the shadow again. Fix them, please. He's going to burst fire and client-side shadows. Tarek is taking full advantage of it, and you can see why. He now finds a third as he sneaks back in to find Crims in the bathroom door. Twist, the only one left, AWP in hand. Tarek looking for that as well. Couldn't get the gun drawn fast enough. Knew he was shuffling over, but round is done. 18 seconds. NRG back in the winning ways, and it'll be 7-5. If they're able to make the finals with Tarek on board this early, that would be impressive, I have to say.
Yeah, it's
fighting for survival, I suppose, first and foremost on this map.
It's not slotting him in and just, expecting things to take off where NRG were at. There is an adjustment period because it is not a role change, but he brings something different than what Fugly's skill set was.
It's a complexion change.
Sure.
It's not changing one member isn't as simple as changing one member. You're changing the style of the entire team. In fact, it's not like it's less so than other sports.
Sure.
Hockey, where you bring in a goal scorer and you put him on a different line, that changes maybe that line, maybe just that one position, because you're still going to play the same systems, wide side lock, dump and chase, whatever you want. In CS, there's only 5 players, and you have no substitutes. Changing one is changing 20% of the team.
Sure.
And that has a ripple effect that actually goes beyond that, but it's a greater impact.
And everything you'd built with that previous player in terms of the chemistry that we talk about, that has to be rebuilt with someone new, learning how the teammates play certain situations, the intuitive things that we take for granted when we watch, but they've actually talked about and spent a lot of time developing. So
even communication,
sure.
The little thing. I'm sure they all speak English, but
the way they communicate.
I call it water, you call it pit.
Precisely.
Just little things like that. Calling out the flashes. Some teammates like them to call every flash. Some just instinctively want to know and not say anything, and then you blind each other. There's little tiny nuances.
Fluffed grenade there from Cirque. If it landed, it could have done some damage, but Tarek's going to continue to barrel forward. He gets one, unable to get on out. He's plucked out of thin air.
Oh, GW got caught. I thought Twist was going to burn there. He's lucky to get back through that Molotov as well. Could have been 3 for 1 with utility helping. I won't discount Twist with an AWP on low HP. Again, we already did that once and he proved us wrong.
Yeah, that was a while ago now, but there's no reason he can't repeat that. His defensive smoke's going to be dropped over towards the barrel position. That's now there in support. Ethan using it to his advantage. Will pick on out, get the kill onto Crims, and now with 2 to find. The low HP of Twist and the time is still being 55 seconds. That's not the problem, but real estate is.
Find it over top of the ramp. Daps takes out Twist finally, I have to say. There was a nade that almost got him too. He had 8 HP, put him to 6. Exist with bomb to his right. AK getting closer still.
Ooh. If he goes up and over here, he's going to have an angle there. Correct. Hold up a minute. Daps was ready and raring for that one.
3 stay alive. AK pulled over for Breezy. As we hit round 14.
fnatic now, they can just take a light pistol upgrade. The best they can do, unless they pull a miracle out of the back pocket here and use those pistols quite quickly, swarm NRG and take advantage of their hold. The best that they can aim for is 6, and that's still a fantastic half. You were saying not long ago, if they finish with 6, that's looking pretty good. Considering the way they started, they had the first 3. NRG went on a streak, and then they bounced back to go to get 2 more on the board. They've gone for the hero AK again on JW, so they want to keep it convincing, but Twist and Brolan, they get shut down, coming into the blender. All right, blind, it doesn't even matter. Look at him go, 3, 4. Oh, Cirque got 1 there.
Yeah.
Little robber.
And then he died anyway, so even if he had got the 4th, the ace was never going to happen, unfortunately. As JW vanishes, I suppose. Inside of the stairs, wants to go back the other way afterward, and Cirque was waiting. 9 now for NRG. I said 6 would do, 6-7, so if they can get 1 more, if they can close out the half with a win. Don't write fnatic off just yet. Pistol becomes important on the second half. We haven't talked about the importance of pistols as of late for the money reasons. It's changed. Was previously you got a 1-round bonus by default at the start of a half. That made a difference because you could get back in sooner.
Yep.
You had options. I didn't mind that change, actually. I thought that one was interesting. There was some theories that never really came out of it, but I think we're there.
I thought that they could have done some really unique stuff on those T sides, right? If you went for like an all-in strategy on certain maps, of course, where you could almost, 75%, 80% of the time guarantee you're going to get the bomb down. what a really cool option would have been on the T side is full ecoing, get the bomb down, and then you can buy Galils and armor and have a better buy than the CTs in the following, which was one option that I haven't actually seen readily explored, so nobody thinking the same way as me. It's not surprising at all. Fnatic last-ditch attempt right here. AWP, 4 AKs. What's the plan?
Off the ready for JW. Circus backing off already, having not found anyone getting aggressive. Door already put inside of it. Ethan just jumping to see if anyone's on the other side, having put a hole in the door. You can use that to his advantage. You can even see that from the balcony in heaven if you want to position yourself accordingly. Broland stuck in the corner, Cirque. Looks for it, looks for the chance. I didn't mind the money system with the early bonus. I thought that was a good way to get teams into it, not have too much of a one-sided score off the start. Gave you earlier reset potential too, so it evened itself out. This money system, I'm undecided at this point. Because back to normal, it still puts pressure on the pistol rounds, but you also have more chances perhaps to get back into it. You've also been broken down. It's a tough one to call. That is a fantastic shot from Broland. Cirque is gone. Tarek stuck in the corner. Broland finds him as well. Twist. After Broland falls, he's able to trade off his aggressor and Daps. And it's Ethan and Breezy. Round 15, they have to go for it. That's the exciting part. They have to go for it. So let's see how creative they can be on the retake. Trying to bait out Twist. And did indeed find his position. Good flash. Breezy's able to capitalize. But he's in a 1-on-3.
He's good, but it's not happening.
Looking for utility. There isn't any left. No smokes down. Couldn't get anything from the corpses that he left behind. And I think the bomb's too far gone at this point in time. Has a kit, but if he can't smoke it off, he can't even really hope to do anything with it. Crims is raiding. And 9-6 Fnatic get that round. That could be the magic round. We'll see. I think it's enough to work with, certainly.
Indeed, and as you just were talking about the pistol, if they grab that, then, wow, we're not even Stevens by any means, but we're getting damn close. Tarek did have a lot of frags there. I think it was 19 to his name. A couple bit of eco stat padding, but I always say somebody has to get those kills. It's not as simple as going, oh yeah, well, they were the easier frags. Well, a lot of the time when you go against the pistols, those low upgrades, they can tend to be the harder rounds because people not overcomplicate things. It is a different approach. It's something that you have to consider a little bit more awkwardly in certain scenarios. So right here, right now, NRG have invested into smoke 2 flashes. Ethan has Molotov and a smoke. On the other side of things, it exists with 2 flashes and a kit. And this time round, it's just going to be JW going aggressively down into connector. Nobody has any eyes on A, but it will be a B approach. So NRG are going into lines down here. And oh, that's an opening and a half right there from Crims.
Sassy girl. Twist equally so. Takes down Cirque. Crims is peeking again. Twist backs off. They work in from Monster. Nice response, I have to say. From a jumping Breezy, exists on the reload. Tosses him. Couldn't get the first shot off, and then you're right. They've swung backwards. They've looked toward him. They can't plant with him. Oh, I take that back. What am I saying? They just did. They were doing it inside of the smoke the whole time. I didn't think they were quite ready or positioned against Crims to do it, but they stuck hits and didn't let Crims get a chance to peek in the process. It's now them in the advantage. Or is it? Because low HP. Daps, good position. It is a 1-on-1. Crims knows where he is. Daps jumps. Oh, on the balcony. I thought he was going to be midair. He actually stopped on the railing, and a headshot. Successful. NRG gets the second pistol. Stole that back.
3-on-5. They lost 2 opening duels. Crims with a 1-tap. Twist showing he can do the same. And then the accelerated pace. The B bomb site cracked like an egg. The yolk oozing out.
Just want to point out that Tarek is 19 and 14. Next best in the server is 11. JW and Breezy. So good series from Tarek.
Yeah, he's having impact, that's for sure. They have to hold on to this one, and it should be a little bit easier than you would expect because Fnatic haven't gone for the force buy. They've stayed conservative. They have a flash on Crims. That's about it. So we can talk about future rounds. When you watch NRG play, one of the things that they like to do is accelerate the take into that sewer/water position. And Ethan is not afraid by any means to push on up and take a very early duel against players from Sandbag. So look for that. And let's see how Fnatic try and deal with it. Will they lock them out by using utility? Will they use boost to their advantage? how are they going to deal with it? Because Ethan doesn't have a problem putting out your Molotov and pushing through. He has flashes in tow to allow him access, and he just likes to go for a heads-up duel there. So that's one position on the map where pressure could be applied. But with 3 MAC-10s left, the Galil and the only AK in Breezy's hands, I would like to see NRG do a set piece here, something which will really make the most of their weaker weaponry on this bonus round. As we go on to round number 18, score is 11-6 in favor of the North American side.
Roland with the early peek, JW with the high position, and the smoke up in the bathrooms, they'll use that to scurry away. That's the T-side thrown, though, which means they want to take territory.
Oh, interesting boost here. They will be able to dump more smokes because Broland on the bottom, he has a smoke to his name, and JW doing the same, so using their own smoke against them. But look, Daps has already got up close and personal here. They're just going to explode on this very quickly.
Roland, good set. He got both. JW helped him, but that is incredibly well positioned. No one came in the main entrance, if you want to call it that. I suppose it's the side entrance if you actually look at the architecture of that building, but the main entrance, and that allowed JW to stand there and just pick them apart.
Isn't that frustrating when you really need to go and the bathrooms are closed for maintenance?
There's a queue. Oh, okay, yeah, that too.
That's a lockdown.
I mean, at an esports event, just go to the female. There's no one there usually. Don't do that.
Definitely don't do that. But he is right.
Nade for Broland. They don't actually get aggressive this time. They sit back a little further. Cirque has his op.
That was a great grenade.
Yeah.
Bounced off the mound of garbage straight into the face of Ethan, and he's thinking that's probably what that was. He's going to get boosted up and over. He gets the pick out and clear towards that barrel position very quickly. Isn't going to see anything. So they found that out without having to use a Molotov. And what that means is, actually Exist might transition there. Let Breezy straight through. He's pushing very quickly. Do they know he's here?
Smoke suggests, and Molotov as well, that he would be. That, I don't think see
Hunting in the smoke.
Yeah, the smoke down. I don't think they can see the trajectory. I don't think they're going to be aware. Exist is trying to find it. He gets him, but Bomb's planted. He can get on it. This is amazing. What? He's actually on it. They don't know it because they didn't hear it. There was too much commotion. This guy is using his brain in a better way than anyone else we've seen in a while. Exist again showing off his experience.
Frustration right there. Must be at an all-time high for NRG to have that just get taken away from them. The bomb goes down, instantly defused.
That's so sick. That is such a wicked play. That is one everyone dreams of. And the wits. He knows I've just killed the planter. The bomb is literally at my feet. There's so much going on. No one's going to hear me defuse this.
Big play right there from Exist. And now NRG, they're feeling that. They have to take a pistol upgrade, so fnatic are in striking distance now, up to 8 rounds. Round number 20 on the board.
I say he's using his brain more than anyone else. Simple is clearly smart, but he uses his skill with it.
Sure.
Exist is just outwitting them. Didn't get kills that time. He got one. Used a Molotov last time to take down Daps. He's playing so clever, and it's working out for him. Broland gets Breezy. fnatic tie up the half 2-2 and take the momentum in doing so. Pistol's trying to get much closer onto the A site. JW even goes for the wall bang into the bathroom. Still really peeking out toward long, and Ethan actually gets the shot on Broland, so they have to be a little bit careful not to give away the weapon. Thankfully, it's top of the stairs inside of the site, far enough back. In fact, I think JW will grab it and make sure it goes further back than that. Smart play by him. He'll keep it to work with, in fact. Doesn't want to be overwhelmed by pistols. We've seen that happen to Oppers far too many times.
Yeah, and losing that in pivotal positions. We've seen that be hugely detrimental. JW wants to get forward again, wants to find some info. Gets one immediately traded by Ethan, so the P250 down the gob. And now they've picked up Nor, but Crims, look at him go. The Rock of Old. Unbreakable. 3 quick kills against the unarmored opponents, and that's going to now put 9 on the board. As continuing to build on this is the side of fnatic. Just having a little look right now. Cirque, he's quiet. When you look at his stat lines, this is a map where he really doesn't find that much effectiveness, especially on the T sides. He's not set up for success in the same way a traditional Opper would be. That's where it is the Ethans and Breezes who are just given the ability to go for picks, and if they don't find them, that's when things can go lacking for NRG. Roland's definitely stabilized now as he's gone aggressive over towards the playground position. Lots of flashes, nades to facilitate him, but Crims is a while away and they're not expecting this. Can he get 2?
careful not to get reverse wrapped from Fountain. That's why Crims is where he is, inside of the bathrooms. He's left his teammate a lot to work with, trying to get back to him, but a smoke down Tarek. Not sure which way to go through the smoke to get back. Well, I don't think they entirely are. I think Tarek's trying to position to counter him, but is worried that he's going to get repeat from the bathrooms. Now that Tarek's cleared that angle, they'll go back and try and circle, but it's tough. It's super tough. Fortunately, they've been given a bit of room with Brolan. Great round. Controlling the entire pace, controlling the entire situation.
The fact that they're spending 20-plus seconds just dealing with his position instead of being able to continue forward with the strategy that I'm sure Daps would have called at the start of the round is very frustrating. Look at this. One guy alone. Fnatic don't actually need to help him at all. They can just sit and wait because Brolan is doing it all. This is one of those situations where it's like, hey guys, you stay at spawn. I'll get this done because the close range of the Org right here could be superior. No, Tarek's Jiggle Peak will get the better of him. Daps, meanwhile, will go down to Crims. And anyway, the round's over.
Yeah, they just found Crims got Daps, as you say. That pretty much secures it because they were pushing up B. It would have been interesting if they over-pushed and gave a road toward A with one single kill, as would be the case now otherwise. But it's one on, it's a little bit slow to get the shot. 11-10, match paused. NRG, I presume, called this. That's kind of cute. Colors kind of match. You've got the yellow for the shorts on the right.
Contrasting,
you've got the pink with the orange on the left. They're holding hands.
Oh, I thought you were talking about these two outfits and then the contrast of the
that's
Dragon
them in the
Lore
background.
In the middle.
See? It's the good place to do this. It's like showing the friendship of the battle.
Sure. I guess on the playground. Well, they're going to shake hands afterwards anyway. Yeah, so yeah, I'm with you. I'm buying into it. But that actually on the right there is a artistic depiction of Daps when he did get left in the playground overnight by his parents.
He actually drew that.
Yeah.
It was a signal for those in the future.
When they find him to let him know how he survived. None of that is true, ladies and gentlemen. We're reaching delirium. Is that a word? Actually, it doesn't matter. It suits my case more so if it isn't. Anyway, Brolan.
It is a word.
He's been an indicator over towards this Fountain position very early, and he's found some confidence about him. We were saying that he was feeling like a little bit tentative on Keish in certain situations, but now...
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
JW realized it. Backed off as the shot appeared, and quick muscle memory back to where he was. Hit the reset, boom, bang, gone.
Bada bing.
Bada boom.
So what's the solution here for NRG? Because when you look at this, they were able to convert the pistol round. Not too bad. But ever since then, it's been a streak of 4 rounds coming out from Fnatic, and they've been stifled by aggression, exist in a smoke, defeating the bomb like
Awkward. Brolan got one, but they wide peeked, and there was so many of them, the was left. Pretty much useless in the battle. Not Crims. He takes down 2 and drops the bomb in the process. Breezy left against 4. Fnatic's winning rounds in spectacular fashion. Exist may not be wearing pajamas anymore, but that was a ninja and a half. 11-11.
Criminal. I guess we can't take that away from Stewie. Alrighty, well, now it's 11-11. First game was tied up from this point onwards. Remember, it went back and forth throughout. Fnatic were just leading. They got up to 15 to the 13 of NRG, and then NRG eventually strung 2 together to get them back into the game. So here, going to be the quad boost. They're just waiting. They're not high enough. I think he was saying, listen, you got to be standing on the bottom there, Dapperoonie. That's twice that his movement has been relatively detrimental to picks for Mr. Cirque. And unless somebody jumps at Sandbag, he's... Oh, wait. Oh, okay. Crims was just floating over.
I mean, there is a timer on it, right? You could sit there until a minute. You could sit there until 30 seconds, I suppose, but you don't gain any other information or map control.
Yeah, with 4 players in the stack, it's hard to force rotations around, right? The CTs have no reason to move unless they went for a gamble play of some variety. This time around, Brolan doesn't have to be super aggressive, but NRG need to keep it in mind that he could be, right? So they have to use their utility. They have to jiggle peek every corner. They have to take their time. Clearing in all the different positions. And right now, lightly spread across the map. They're going to go towards long, and that's JW posted up. He's going to actually pivot around here.
He's got it. Ooh, I thought lined up, had it anticipated, but didn't hit the flick. Was a pretty quick little peek, though. Brolan backs off. JW still scoped in, but being dynamic wants to switch it back over. Meanwhile, Ethan is set and ready at the gate. Enemy at the gate indeed. Twist watching short. They need to be careful to swing at Monster. Smoke's down, thankfully, because Twist, I think, was in the open. Otherwise, he's going to try and go through this. He's going to almost try and pull an Exist and get ahead of them. That gives Ethan a gap, though, and he goes through it. Bombs drop. Twist gets one kill that's important. It gets sloppy. 10 seconds. Cirque, he's going to try and plant this the second time. Crims is not in a position to do anything about it. Can Cirque be fast to pull it back?
Oh, does he know that Brolan's close?
Fake that he went towards short. Brolan's going to hear that, so they know he's still inside of the site, and JW takes advantage of that information, uses it for the good, and fnatic take the lead.
Yeah, there was only one place Cirque could have been just then because JW had it covered, and Brolan, with the information from the sound cues, would have been letting him know every single detail. That plant, along with the round loss bonus that's been consecutively building for the side of NRG now, a buy will be able to come out onto the board. So they used Daps over towards A to continuously sell that fake and hold the players on A, but it wasn't enough. In the smokes, menacing once more for the side of NRG. I can hear the footsteps. That means we're back underway as we jump back in the game.
Keep in mind that the prize money is in the favor of Zipix currently, all time in CSGO.
Okay.
Exist has still won more trophies. He is the most winning individual. This could be another final for him if they keep this up.
It's looking good for fnatic here. This is a bounce back since their minor and WESG performances, but as we're saying that, NRG light up the scoreboard with 2 big kills, Daps and Ethan taking down JW and Twist. And now they finally have a big number advantage, not just a 1-for-1 trade, not a round that they have to scrap to get back into, one that they just need to regroup and trade efficiently onto the bomb site. So you go 1-for-1 in this regard, well, you're going to be finishing the round very pretty. Will be the B play again. Port of call for NRG round after round, and never mind. Oh yeah, no, they're just lining up smokes. I thought they may have been reconsidering this whole situation. They're going to Molotov over towards barrels. It's going to miss. That could be massive because Exist is holding this position.
Yeah.
He has a Molotov of his own.
Stakes certainly not what they need on the T side to give back the advantage they worked so hard to achieve.
Oh, look where Breezy is. We didn't even notice this going on. We were just so focused on that B bomb side, the duels that could be going on over there. He's positioned himself to cut off the rotations. Breezy's got them covered.
Yeah, one already. And back in utility, that's a tough room to clear. Has the angle, has the headshot, probably finds a third. Exists just waiting for him to overstep the mark, but it's a 12-12 situation. Finally, NRG get a full gun round in this second half. Their first one, their third overall.
If NRG want to stay on the winning route here, they shouldn't chase this. And the reason I say that is, yeah, but Chad, if they lose around, yeah, but they can't really lose around at this point in the game, which means they need to keep as many guns up as possible. Because if fnatic just aim for economic damage, and even if they're losing rounds, the problem is you can keep NRG on that position where you could just break them, and then you can just win the game from that point. Because fnatic could concede, you know, 1 or 2 here. It's not going to be the end of the world, but if they continue to do damage, which they're not going to get away with here, that whole narrative I just built goes out the window. So good stuff there from NRG to get back on the board. We did say that 2 big openings. That's the first time we've seen that in a while. And they've been able to capitalize. Once again, we tie things up. fnatic will be able to buy back in once more. AWP's out to play. Zooming in on Daps there in the booth we were. But remember, fnatic already have the first map in their back pocket. They picked that up in overtime. A very back and forth affair, clutch heavy, that's for sure. It will just be the single AWP in the hands of JW, so it appears that Twist and JW change it depending on the map, depending on preference, depending on side even. Lots of versatility. Interesting, this stack. They actually react off of the flash. Krim steps on up. It's whack-a-mole. Ethan takes him down in another opening that can't be traded back. So can they find the second like they did in the previous? They're going to continue through. They're going to go for another boost. It looks like Tarek wants to set Ethan up for another one. So continuing to go through the routines of old. Oh, he's made noise. He's going to cancel that one right now.
He even smirked. He was like laughing about it. Ah, sorry, man. Not really a laughing matter at 12-12. They've got a man advantage, so for the moment they'll have a bit of comfort on their side.
just quickly, look at where the bomb is and look where all 5 members of NRG are. If kills go down, they can't react quickly to take over a bomb site. That could be problematic.
If they get another kill, though, that goes unanswered, that may not matter so much in a 5-on-3. They can just work strength and numbers and brute force. GW, oh my, missed the shot. That's the kill I'm talking about. Now they get the bomb. Interestingly, though, with 40 seconds, they're not bringing it back over to where that kill was found and not gathering as a unit.
There's still 2 on B right now.
It'll be a rotation back over. Brolan may have heard that as well in bathrooms.
He's got all the info, so Brolan's position, maybe he won't get kills, but at least he can prepare the likes of Twist and Exist over to B.
The one thing they have to be aware of is that they didn't cover long, so Tarek is pushing through A. Brolan might get daps.
There's no avenue, though. Brolan's cut this off. They have to go B.
Again, Breezy, though, with this 13 seconds, Tarek's not, you're right, he's not there fast enough. He needed to be there in order to deny the bomb plant. They've swung around. Exist is gone. They get one back. Brolan drops in the end. 4 seconds. They just got to the site.
I wonder, I want to take a look at NRG's fingers. If they have any fingernails left after some of the rounds that they're leaving these, that they could absolutely just be destroyed by 1 kill.
I hope they still have their fingerprints, otherwise they might have trouble getting out of China.
I went in and out the other day, mate. You don't need to do it on the way out. It's just on the way in.
That's a good point. Good point.
On the way out, they give you a tap on the back and say, thanks for coming. See you again next time. Not in English, though. All right.
Sometimes in English.
Yeah, that's true.
Brolan brawling goes around the corner. What is this nonsense?
Look at that
They don't
combo.
even have. Yeah, they don't even have the best of the weapons right now. They've got a shotgun, they've got a CZ, and Brolan. That is exactly what the doctor ordered.
NRG, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. They do all the hard work. They get 2 gritty rounds on the board. They put fnatic exactly where they want them, just like in the Cage game. And then, uh-oh. Now they have to pull out a miracle. 2 on 5. Ethan and Daps alive. Now, to be fair, they were the opening factors in the last 2 consecutive rounds, Ethan and Daps, with 2 kills in 2 rounds to open them up. But they're going to have to find 5 with a minute to work with. It is Ethan leading the charge here up towards Sandbags. Now, look at the money in the bank. Just to note, Tarek, 4,300, Ethan, 2,900, Breezy, 1,900, Cirque on 5,300. Without the round time line up, oh, I might have it just here. So, Matt, they did lose 6 on the trot, right? So that means they had 2 rounds of the residual 3,400. And then they've won 2 in a row here. When they lose this, they should still have 3,400 if I'm doing my maths correctly.
No, you'd be down to 29 now.
29?
You'd be back to 4 because it's 6 minus 2.
But so then they're going to lose another one.
Right. Sorry. You are...
We can work this out. I've written down the amount of money
you're correct,
Daps
but
has.
It won't matter if they win the round. So you're talking on
But
the
they're not going to win
NRG
the round.
side.
They're going to lose the round.
Yeah.
Wait, Daps is the wrong one because he's going to lose and he's going to have. So we'll look at Breezy's money. So whatever Breezy goes up to, we'll be able to know.
It's only going to be built at this point to...
So
yeah,
it's up to 4,800.
Yeah. Sorry? 3,400. No,
Breezy,
it's 2,900.
Breezy was on 1,900, and then he went up to 4,800. My maths is not working.
It's 2,900.
We've been working.
It's what?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because it would be 6 minus 2 plus 1.
Yeah, well,
so 29, you give them. So you don't get one for the one you just lost, right? So it would be added on to so it should be 29.
Yeah, you're right. You're bang on there.
You were confusing me. I get what you were doing at the end, but I'd already done it in my head, and then I confused myself with your math.
I tell this story all the time. I slept in economics. I didn't really pay attention to the numbers, so
it's fine, right? Because you're not. The round they just lost doesn't change the bonus they were on. Exactly. It changes it for the next round.
Exactly. Sorry, everybody. I'm not trying to confuse
it's okay.
you.
It confused me, and then I think I confused people more, but it is 2,900.
So it is enough for them to buy again, regardless. It doesn't really matter how much bonus. It just matters that they have the guns on the board, all right? I'm going to go into class
We're all learning this together,
I'm going to stay awake. I'm going to get the chalkboard out. I'm going to crack this nut.
Don't really want to know what you would do in your personal time, Chad. Cirque inside of the smoke. So too his teammates as they get to short. They get to Monster. Actually, no, take that back. They all went short and they left the bomb towards spawn, so they want to just play picks. Again, though, with that bomb where it is, you can't capitalize on a fast pick.
Doing this boost again to clear out the barrel position, and they do it this way so they don't actually have to use a Molotov. I think they've just made noise dropping on off. But Cirque, he's already patrolling from the sandbag position. So once they know that Monster is clear, sorry, Barrels is clear, it allows the player there just to posture and wait. His only fear is over towards the Monster position, which is where he's looking. Throwing grenades to get them to move around to hope that they would walk into his line of sight, but they didn't. So that's a maneuver to facilitate picks, but it's not a strategy. It's just a move off of a default play, and now they need to come up with some form of a end goal here as we have 44 seconds up on the clock. They don't have any bathroom control. Brolan again just stays in this position. He loves this spot, and by sitting here, there is an avenue onto the A-bomb site, but he can always push and pivot, and he has a lot of information, even though he is kind of in the dark. So it is going to be the B play yet again, and fnatic can actually have 4 players here as JW goes to rotate now.
This gets Tarek, Breezy back on to exist. 13-13, we are late into this game. fnatic has the lead in this round at the moment. Make that more so because not only does Twist get Breezy, he gets the bomb. That means Cirque has to go toward him, which means he's in the open even if he gets the kill. And fnatic are now 2 away from wrapping up this series, but likewise, only 1 in the lead.
And now they get 3,400. Sorry, everyone, I was thinking ahead. But at this point, I start to worry for NRG. The T side, they're having a really rough time getting rounds on the board. It's been patches of 2 rounds only. 2, lose 6, win 2. And they've lost 2 on the trot, and fnatic are only 2 away from taking this game. I think you bang on. I think that is Brolan's parents sitting there in the crowd. I've seen them cheering when he gets a multi-kill, that's for sure.
Makes the most sense, especially, you know, China, there's a lot more cultural shock. You're outside of what would be standard of English speaking.
Sure.
It's a lot more to worry about for your young son going there, right? I could see this being a trip they would want to be here for.
Maybe they also wanted to visit Shanghai and just use this as an excuse to travel around the world.
Yeah, absolutely that as well. But I know that my parents going to somewhere that is so different culturally and that I don't speak the language, they would be more concerned that if I was just, you know, hopping over to Denmark or whatever.
That's for sure, and he has 21 kills on the board right now. So, Crims and Brolan topping the charts, with Tarek on the other side on 22 to his name as well. So, what kind of a player NRG going to go for here? Brolan up close and personal again. Going to have company any second now as they've used that smoke to push on through and actually go towards long. JW has just dropped back from Ethan, has a lot of room to work on sandbag again. They're happy to give it to him. So I mentioned this duel before we kick things off, saying that Ethan loves to go to this position. It hasn't just been him, but fnatic aren't offering anything up, and this time Brolan gets flashed and he gets information, but he won't get a kill. Daps will find the opening.
This does cause some chaos, though, on the fnatic side. The opening pick and the bomb toward Monster. They've actually given up the B site. They're not elevated up the stairwell yet, so to speak. They still have 1 player at jungle. Crims gets Daps. No further action. They need to know now that this is back inside of the site of B and exist in position, but they both fall on the mound to 1 man, Ethan. They trip over each other. They lost position. They were desperate to get it back, and it's a tied game. How's the money?
Oh, it's not great whatsoever.
It's 1,400.
It's not good at all for fnatic. They have to hold on to these 2 weapons, and NRG also in a position where they can't chase. They need to hold on to those 2, but they don't need to chase because Tarek, he's cut them off before they can get away. He's going to take down JW. He knows what the last is. He can call for the rest of his teammates. He can call for backup because Crims is stuck towards long. They take this away. fnatic with a low buy going into the next round. That's it. Tarek with a big kill there. And now, once again, NRG have done the hard work. They've done what they needed to do. They put fnatic in a position where, sure, they can go for a light investment. They can go for a line upgrade if they want. But it's where fnatic should be less dangerous. It's where NRG want them to be.
This is where fnatic ended up last game. They just happened to be 1 round ahead.
And they had an ult,
and it got them into overtime. This time, they might be on the back foot trying to force overtime themselves. We could have a back-to-back overtime game for this final. For this semifinal game, for the spot in the final, I should say, to be clear.
All right, so Twist is in connector. He doesn't actually have to deal with anybody too early, as it is a conservative approach coming in right now from NRG. They have 5 AKs, no AWP. But if this goes late round, I really worry for them in those tense situations. So far, they've been strugglesome. Passive approach across the map. Ethan's not prodding towards sandbag this time. Tarek and Daps split out connector 1 at a time, and Twist will swing. He's able to get 1. Brolan in the bathroom's position. Might be able to find Breezy as well, who wants to push on forward to make sure that Twist is trapped, and he's done that, but They still have to kill him, and he's got the AK. He could take a duel with Daps right here, and he will! Twist almost able to get two. Daps is lucky to be alive, left there only on 14 points of health. He has the bomb next to him to pick up at any moment, but look at NRG, they're still so spread out. There's no chance for them to go for any trades. At the moment, we can see they don't have to, but they're still very individual across the map right now.
The other issue with that is that even though he got the AK, he leaves it in no man's land after going down. So it's not like they can re-grab that and reuse it. They could on rotation, if they rotate that direction. There's not really much reason to argue against giving this round a crack, even with the pistols. You're going to buy in the next one, no matter what. But they won't go toward the AK. They will say strength in numbers. Breezy inside of the smoke. Molotov down, covers off the stairs. Surge swings it around toward the armored van. He's holding off the other side. There's not any access to the site now with those two AKs guarding the doors. Exist in JW. All right. All right! Working their way back in. Exist was going to get the AK that was down at the bottom of the stairs. He's not with his teammate. Time's still there for a 10-second defuse. JW! He taps and looks for the last. It's that long. He's got it, but there's no time because he doesn't have the kit. What an incredible performance. 4 kills. If Exist had stayed, he could have got an AK from one of the players dropped, and he might have been able to take that back. He was already running to get the other gun because he didn't think they were going to even get inside of the site. That other kill comes that much sooner. They're on the 10-second defuse.
Impressive stuff yet again. Individual performances through the roof today. There's something in the water here, isn't there? I don't know if it's mistakes being made or fantastic shots. I'm going to lean towards the latter because the amount of clutches, the amount of absolute bangers that we have been delivered over this haul of a day now. We're approaching the 12-hour mark as the score is 15-14 in favor of NRG on their map choice. Yet another close one. It's accelerated play. It's a fast speed. This is going to light him up.
Oh, no. He's done so much damage, but going down that early with no response. At least the nade comes through from Twist. Crims. It's a lot of pressure on one man. Thankfully, Twist is going to get close. Can't see inside the smoke to deny the plants. Does get Surge backing off. Crims follows it up. Overtime looking like a high probability because Pro lands on the alert. Daps goes down. JW gets Ethan. This time they get the defuse. And for the second straight map, we are going into overtime.
Would you believe it? The game keeps delivering. And if they're going to keep giving us this level of Counter-Strike, I'll watch all night.
fnatic force it this time. They're not the ones that were desperate to hold on. NRG cannot close.
So here's the contrasting point. At least on Cage on the T side, I thought that NRG looked better. This time round, look, I think they still look probably better than fnatic's T side, but it doesn't seem threatening. It doesn't seem that they have too many moves in their back pocket to work with. Some of these rounds have come down to the wire. Some of them by pure luck of finding a slither of a gap and making their way through and being able to go for a flank. So you can see Tarek on your screen right now. Contemplation. Well, the 16K overtime, MR3. Let's get this one underway here. JW with the AWP. Roland in tow, going aggressive once again. Tarek, he's just sitting passively. He doesn't want to take this duel at all. It's actually going to be a seek towards the connector. 2 players on their way down. And Cirque, well, he gets the better this time round.
Yeah, had the angle held off ahead of time. Really not much JW could do to beat him on that one. So Brolan with the AUG.
He's going to drop back, yeah. I thought he might continue forward, but he thinks better of it.
It's the right decision. He doesn't have another rifle down there with him, and they don't necessarily want to commit to confinement, if that makes sense. They don't want to be stuck in a tight choke point. They've got the opening pick. Spread the map out. Certainly you want to control that position on the map so you can get the rotations done, but you don't want to get stuck inside of it either. And if they can get eyes to bathroom, they can certainly establish a dominance. They haven't fully pushed the CTs back in that they still have Crims working the connector position, and Tarek might get caught by that. He's looking to stairs because they want to clear the top of it. Oh, Crims didn't go far enough.
This is looking long. Timing, yeah.
They've gone by.
Berlin's also rotated towards B.
I was going to say, he's down toward window.
But look, the bomb's coming through and it's being noisy. Daps is going to think this is clear.
Done. You're right. Oh, no, it's
Wow.
not. Dabs hits it. Crim's one step too far. AK removes him. And now I think they've got the site. Shot back in from Proland. They didn't get the plant.
What?
Proland doubles it up. Tarek, he'll get him down in the end, but he's got Exist in position. Bomb drop once more. 14 seconds. They just have to
still
hold
going?
off the shadows. Exist on the back of Proland is able to control
my
it, and
God.
he gets Cirque Spring, the Tech 9. 6 seconds was all that was left, and fnatic steal that back. And it's the young man Broland that is, I guess, the key in that. Unlocked the whole option.
That would rattle NRG to the core, a round where they had a freebie opening. So much time to work with Daps. Look, he got lucky there. Slammed Crim against the wall.
Yeah, and that could have ended it as well, right? They
Yeah.
escaped death once, and it was like out of the jaws of defeat and then just down the hatch and into the stomach of defeat. I don't know where I was going with
Look,
that.
it's
You know
like-
what I mean?
Yeah, it's like Final Destination. If they meant to die, they
Yeah, you're
eventually
going to
will.
die, exactly.
Exist only has 11 kills to his name, but he had the impact on the round where he killed the planter and just defused straight away. Right there was able to have a lot of impact too. And NRG, they have to be feeling, what else do they need to do? Frustration levels must be at an all-time high. It is getting late here. I spoke before about it being 10 o'clock. Well, now,
11:20 or so.
yeah, just ticked past.
There you go. There you have it. Crims gets back inside of the underpass position with Broland boosting him. They're going to watch the short tunnel. No one's done that so far in this game. It's a fun one, but no one heading in that direction. I shouldn't say no one heading in that direction. No one heading in that direction yet.
So Twist going to fire off some warning shots.
This is lovely. This gap. Instead of playing the traditional headshot, he plays the off angle, and Tarek still finds it.
Gets wrecked indeed, and now to be a B-bomb site play again. Twist from the pit in the back section. We'll spam through, not going to get anything done. This is going to be a retake.
Retake that Tarek's not ready for. Gets over top. Finds the kill immediately, Twist. He'll back off of it. JW still trying to find inside of the smoke. He's got to be so careful on this. Bomb's down. He can't find it. He's trying to get on the defuse. Immediately falls off the ledge. Still a lot of time. He doesn't have to panic to try and get back onto it right away as Daps gets one onto Twist. Cirque finds JW. Daps still spraying into it, trying to defend the defuse, but Crims is on it. He's holding it. He's got Broland defending, and even though Broland goes down, he's already got the defuse done. It's 2 in a row for fnatic.
Again, the opening, the door, the bomb down. Almost everything you'd expect to do to get a regular round on the board, and fnatic is still able to put a stop to it. Up to 17 rounds here. 4 maps between these two teams, 3 of which have gone to overtime, and the first being a 16-13, and this was during the Swiss stage. So now we're back underway here. Taking sewer control quickly as Ethan Nade's going to land through the smoke, but Broland again aggressively. This seems to be his bread and butter. When he gets to be assertive, when he gets to dictate that fight, he's very strong in that position. Thinks better of it this time round, playing more conservative. We'll just flash them back, and they have to be slow and cautious in clearing him out because he has been quite the nuisance to this point. They actually started leaning Trims towards the A-bomb side as well. And just leaving the 2 players of Exist and Twist over towards B. Broland again will find an opening. And this could be the clean sweep in the first half as JW finds the second.
Yeah, that's remarkable. Fnatic are able to pull that off. JW just win. That's what he wants to do. He's going to leave himself open to Breezy. Ethan's still in this too. Don't forget, Crims overextends, and it's only a 1-man advantage. With 49 seconds, they can start to spread out this defense from Fnatic. They've not done yet. Broland's got good position. If Ethan makes too much noise going back over toward A, he can catch them off. Broland is spotted. He's put Breezy low. That'll certainly help down the line. Bomb dropped. Broland late in this game is showing up and closes it on Breezy. It is the clean sweep of the first half of overtime.
Surely that's enough.
And overtime they arrived in due to some back and forth events. First round stolen by Broland. Last one secured by him. He's been the star of the extra rounds at least.
The Hellbiter of a series. If you just look at the flow of the rounds, it's gnarly to see. had fnatic just pumping them. They had 6 straight, lost 2, won 2, lost 2, and then they had to get the last one on the board. And now we're back in overtime. It's going to be difficult for NRG to defend against. They shouldn't go for a clean sweep of their own. I'm trying to think where the biggest threat was, because in the early stages of the first half, which feels forever ago right now, fnatic were more direct in their approach. And this is where I always talk about in overtimes, especially with 16k on the board. Rush somewhere, go nuts, do something risky, go for a contact play, I don't care. Mix it up because you have so many rounds to work with here. What's the point of playing conservative?
Cheeky little run moves, don't even know that it was intended for JW. Through the flames, Brolan. Trying to get better position. Push up toward the park. 28 and 24. He was slow at some points in this series, or at least in the first game, I should say. Certainly not now. Unfortunately, he meets his fate in an AWP that's holding out at long. So advantage to NRG, advantage again to the CT side.
Tarek's about to pick here off Cirque's flash. You can see him setting it up. Tarek's going to go for the call, and the flash is going to come on in, or if they cancel that, because Tarek has just gone on, Cirque's dropped further back. Flash will come out, but he's already behind him. Exist continues to be the magic man. That's a very important kill right now, because look how close JW and Crims are. Cirque's not going to expect this. JW's already pushed up on the hard left. He can creep into the side. Oh, no, he can't. Daps is there, still goes down.
JW with the response, though. Cirque traded. It's the advantage back to fnatic. It could be the game on a clean sweep in overtime. It could be the series. It could be fnatic versus Na'Vi. 2 storied franchises of CSGO. One that had an era, and one that is the team that never has in Na'Vi. Still searching for their time. Breezy wants back in. He has to. Ethan's going to go with him. They both have AUGs. They've been using the AUG a lot despite the change. Some teams have gone back to the M4. They seemingly have not. Smoke on top of the bomb. It's a little bit deep. It doesn't cover the front side of the bathrooms. The shots will, though they won't. JW hits it despite being blind. Ethan gets one back. One only knows exists. Is in the corner. Follows that with the headshot.
He's sitting it.
He's going to stick this. Twist does the AWP. He's missed it. Twist has missed it. He's going to try and spray it back. He just barely holds it. And we are not done. And a sweep is possible. Don't rule this out. That might still save this game.
Oh my God, round and round again we go. Yet another clutch. Ethan, a 1v3. It felt impossible. How do they keep pulling this out? It's not one team, it's both. It's miraculous Counter-Strike time and time again.
As soon as he sits that and it's against the AWP, you just knew. As soon as you heard the shot miss, it was over.
All right, well, underway as they have weathered the storm of the first round of the second half of overtime here. Long is the approach again. This time Cirque isn't going to get gifted a free kill up on the flower pots. They're going to be playing 2 in the toilet position. Now whether they traverse back down and clear out bathrooms, because we have JW and Crim coming up connector. Lots of pressure is going to be applied on Tarek and Cirque right now. They need to multi-frag here. If they go down, Daps has already rotated over, but a lot of work still has to be done. Tarek's staying forward.
Is very forward. Cirque can play off of it. He finds one. Cirque, there it is, steps out and finds the other. Crims, though, still holding his position. If he had fallen, I would call this round almost done already. But he stays alive, and Tarek only gets out of there with 9 HP. He has to go very passive inside of the A site. In fact, he may just rotate back. Okay, he'll play Dumpster. That absorbs a lot of the bullets. Certainly gives him a bit of an extra armor, if you will. Extra layer of armor. I thought he might have gone toward window. Crims has to re-clear T-spawn at this point because he's considerate of the fact that NRG might have taken map control while all of that exchange in front of the bathrooms was going down.
Noting here that it is actually a 2-2 split from NRG. So if fnatic regroup with all 3 members and they trade onto a bomb site, they can at least give themselves a chance in this round. The rotation will come in, but Tarek is on 9 HP and it will be B. So retaking a 9 HP is never a good idea.
Assist. Trading off Ethan. Breezy still in it. Exists, jumps across, couldn't do it. Tried to bounce himself off the apex of the tunnel. With the curvature of the tunnel, I should say, there's not really an apex to a constant curve.
Tarek just ran into the molly. You can see her on the screen. He's got a bit of a smirk. Obviously, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't actually matter because of the amount of money on the board.
Let's go back, though. Sticking that defuse, we could have been done for fnatic already. NRG pick up that round. I said it, that clutch. Yeah. That sticking of the defuse, we might have double overtime still.
Oh, they're not out of the woods just yet. They need to defend one more. Full buy will come out for fnatic yet again. Twist on that T-sided AWP. He could find an opening here, but Sergio wants to go for one of his own. Bullet rattles down towards the playground, acting as a warning shot for anybody who wants to peek their head. Crims!
He read that. He actually anticipated there might be a counter peek, but it's NRG again with an advantage. All 6 overtime rounds go CT side.
This is wild. Ethan and Breezy in the last 2, both having huge 3-pieces. One was a clutch, one was to lock down the final ditch attempt, I suppose, on taking that B bomb site. And now Ethan's kicked things off with an opening onto Crims, who has 25 kills to his name. JW and Brolan are both on 28, so another 4-on-5 situation. This one's coming down to the wire yet again.
I have a feeling Tarek and Cirque are going to play off of each other quite well. One's from Bulgaria, one's of Turkish descent, so kind of neighbors in that regard.
Man, I can't do math. Don't get me started on geography.
I mean, yeah, you are just kind of on an island on your own. You're not expected to know anything else.
Existor's watching the flank with the bomb right here. There is no push coming in, but with 30 seconds left, it is probably going to have to be this A hit. Aids and flashes come on in for now, and there's 3 players on the bomb site to receive from NRG.
Cirque actually touching each other, tripping over each other almost behind the truck, and that's going to give JW the double on the way through. 18 seconds, they have to get the bomb in position, and JW is trying to hold to make sure they can't do anything about denying the plant, and indeed they cannot. He holds the wall. Exist backs off, wants to play the post as far and as safe as he can, but not too far though. Still hold the lane so he can swing. Doesn't go all the way around toward bathroom connector. JW with the clothesline. Follows it up, he actually hit Breezy. All on Tarek, the new addition in a 1-on-2. And it could be it for fnatic. They might find the final after all, and it's Twist to confirm it. They will play Na'Vi tomorrow. Hell of a series.
Fantastic series. And JW, the longest standing fnatic member, he's been there since the very beginning. Maybe he moved around a little bit in the middle there, the whole godsend situation, but he's the hero in the end, ends on 32 kills, a lot of impact from this man, and NRG are going to feel those pivot rounds, those mistakes. That haunts you in a series.
Yeah, they're that close to the final, right? This is overtime in 2 games. They were 1 round away twice, arguably. In the first, they were the one that made the comeback, so you could argue against that, but still, that's how close it is in theory, and credit to them. This is a step in the right direction. Tarek's new on the team. They had to change a lot to be here. All right, they don't get to win in Shanghai for a 2nd time in 12 months, but still got into the top 4. For fnatic, they go up against Na'Vi. What did they have Counter-Strike front to back? Incredible ace clutch from Simple in the morning series. They go on, he plays spectacularly in the 2nd one as well.
Yep.
And this series had it all from the beginning to end. Overtimes, clutches, everyone had a moment. I think everyone out of all
the games, all the teams,
trying to think how many
much.
teams. We saw 5 teams today, so 25 players. I think all of them probably had a moment.
It's a pretty wild day of Counter-Strike here. It definitely delivered. I think we're hitting the almost 12-hour mark of CS. We started at 12 local. It's almost 12 a.m. or 0000.
Yeah.
And it's been a wild day. It's definitely delivered. It's been exciting across, and well, we still managed to hold on to our voices for tomorrow. We have the best
Barely.
of 5 grand final.
I've got to get back to training my diaphragm. I've gotten lazy. I'm starting to feel it.
We can work on that. Can you do that at the gym?
No.
Oh, okay. That's like a private.
It's a practice thing,
okay.
yeah. Unfortunately.
But we get Na'Vi.
Just get lazy. A long day like today will remind me that I need to do that more.
Well, the panel can remind us tomorrow because they're standing by.
Yes, Chad. Yes, it's true. 72 rounds of Counter-Strike in total were played. That's 36 on one, 36 on the other, ultimately culminating in that of fnatic. Moving on to the grand finals tomorrow versus Natus Vincere. And I think these guys summed it up pretty accurately when they said everybody had a little bit of a shining moment.
I would say so. Both teams could easily have won this game, or easily, I say, by with a little bit of margin here. I think both teams played well. I think both teams played bad in certain scenarios, and both teams, you know, it was one of those games where you feel it could have gone both ways, and one of those games where you feel that both teams had a great honor in it. NRG can't really be too disappointed about this show. As for fnatic, cool to see them in a final once again.
Yeah, sure. I mean, when you see that first half, T-side from fnatic, right? They get 6 rounds, 3 of which come from the pistol round and the conversion, and then 3 rounds they get, I want to say magically, that's not true, but like out of like individual play, Brolan, for example. So they end up with 6 rounds. That's okay, because that's a map, as we said, they've let go a little bit.
Sure.
But on the side of NRG, they're supposed to get more on the T side.
Boom. Let's get some more from the players themselves.
这次碰到 NRG， 感觉打得非常非常的辛苦。不过虽然也是成功得到胜利，那现在是感觉如何 ？So during group stage, you met NRG once before, and now you beat them again. How do you feel right now? Because those were some crazy games.
Yeah, it was very hard to play against them again, especially because we won the first time. So they knew what to expect from us, and yeah, I think we handled it pretty good. And they picked Overpass instead of Nuke this time to punish us, I guess, because we have had a pretty bad streak on our Overpass. But yeah, we played our game and just played amazing.
也是说到之前他们的确在小组赛有交手过，然后在那之后他觉得对方也是对他们做出了一些研究，而且这次他们做的不一样的东西就是选了 Overpass 而没有选择 Nuke， 想要来惩罚他们。然后他们在 Overpass 这张图最近的战绩也不是非常理想，不过他们觉得他们打得非常好，也是成功拿下这场比赛的胜利。那第二个问题就是叉车最后一回合的时候，他尝试想要刀，可能最后也是没能刀成功。他那个时候心态是怎么样？是想要帮队友放松一点吗？还是让大家能够打得比较轻松 ？So Cash, last round, you tried to go for the knife. Was it to lighten the mood, or is it just something that you love to do?
Yeah, it's something I love to do, of course, and especially when we were gonna win the game. So put some salt in the wounds and hope they get tilted by it.
他也是说，就是反正都是最后一回合，而且那回合感觉挺稳的。他想要就是尝试让对方，想要激怒对方，让对方状态失衡。那最后一个问题也是想要问一下，对明天的对手有什么看法 ？So for the last question, tomorrow you'll be up against Na'Vi, and they're looking really, really strong right now. What's your take on the match?
I think it's gonna be a great match. Potentially, it can go to like all 5 maps. We played the same kind of aggressive style, I think, and we play the same. We have kind of the same map pool, so I think it's gonna be a brawl. And yeah, we're happy to be in a final. We would love to win it, so we're gonna give it our all.
他也是说到两个队伍的地图池都非常相近，而且都非常打得非常激进，那很有可能会打满。他觉得明天比赛会非常非常的精彩。那昨天其实采访到 J 比如说他最后有东西想要跟大家说，也是没能够说成功，所以今天想要让他再尝试一次。So yesterday when I had the interview, do you want to give it a go right now?
Yeah, I wanted to say thanks to everyone coming to our arena. Shishi. Thank you.
那我们采访也就到这里结束，我们把时间交还给分析。
And you could tell the exhaustion has set in on the side of fnatic, and you have to also just wonder how they've done it. I mean, they held it together there at the very end of the game. Maniac,
yes,
let's
indeed.
hear
Yes,
a little bit
indeed.
about. I know you've done some studies in psychology, so let's hear about the effects of sleep. I guess
Deprivation or
sleeplessness.
You mean when you're tired or when you
Yes.
don't get enough sleep?
Give me one factoid.
When you're tired,
Yes.
your heart beat faster. So you know your body basically needs to produce more energy to keep going or
I
doing
tend to
something
eat
that's
more when I'm
really-
tired.
Well-
yeah, that actually has the same effect, right? Because you're digesting, so your heart needs to pump more blood because your body's working more.
And that's for you, Twitch chat, to know everything you need to know. But we got a little bit more information coming for you. Let's take a look at the brackets so you can understand exactly how it was that fnatic got themselves here to a grand final. And doing it over energy in 2 overtime games, 19-17, both games going the full distance plus a few bonus rounds. That did net fnatic a grand final spot. And earlier today, we got to see Na'Vi take on the Renegades and Ints.
Yeah, and what a showing that was from Na'Vi, Electronic, and Simple. I'm not going to take anything away from the team play of Na'Vi and the entirety of that team. Suits had some great rounds. I would say Edward had a good game as well, but overall, Electronic and Simple that is right now is just playing on another level. Now, fnatic got to the final. fnatic is going to face off against Na'Vi in a best of 5 tomorrow. In terms of map pools, I think there's a lot to be discussed about that. We can do that tomorrow. But in terms of individual players right now, Simple is on the track to make one of the most memorable tournaments ever in his career. And that is a career that have had a lot of memorable tournaments already.
Yes, gonna add another one. I think Electronic is following him quite close, which is a very scary prospect on the side of fnatic.
The Batman and Robin of Na'Vi.
Without a doubt.
I would even say that Robin is not like fair enough to Electronic what he's doing. Maybe Batman and who is like a slightly less impressive superhero. Aquaman.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man is quite cool. Aquaman.
Yeah, anyway, superheroes aside, I'm sure that they are also going to sleep around this time. We are pushing the midnight hour, and that is when the real weird stuff starts, so we got to turn the stream off. Otherwise, you would be in for a wild ride. That does it for today. Tomorrow, we have a best-of-5 grand final coming your way, as well as a show match before it. So make sure you don't miss any of that, and go ahead and turn this stream off. We'll see you later.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to cs.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
Case. Big update and new features in the case battles. Updated and convenient interface with new options. Up to 4 users can participate in one battle now. Create and customize your battles, any number and any type of cases. Choose the number of participants and invite your friends with a unique link. Watch the best drop and win everything. Don't miss epic battles on Hellcase.